Hello everyone, my name is Busisiwe Nomaswazi Gunene and welcome to Precious Moments. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing, has been liking and sharing our channel. Today we have an amazing dynamic woman, Linda Matsolo. She's the PR connoisseur and a sought after manager of talent. Linda, welcome to Precious Moments.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I like the connoisseur. I was like, oh, I'm loving the English.
Jonga, I feel so proud because apparently this is your first podcast.
Second, but this is my first.
This is your first precious moment.
This is my first precious moments, guys. I'm so happy to be here. I don't even know which camera to look at. Like camera A, camera. Where's my camera B? My first precious moments, and I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited having you here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. All right, let's start off from your humble beginnings, your family background, where you grew up, your aspirations as Linda Umdana, you know?
So I'm originally from Cape Town. So my mother was a domestic worker. Point. So we used to move from Egugule to Togwalanga. My parents their relationship wasn't so stable. My father was an alcoholic. He used to beat my mother up. And I feel like, obviously, like with time, you understand that everybody has their own traumas and their own demons. And I forgave my dad like a long time ago. I mean, he passed away, he passed on now. Yeah. But I understood where he was coming from. Even his father used to beat up his mother. And that's the only way that they thought, like, that's how you discipline like a woman or whatever, you know. And then, my mother was a domestic worker. She worked in Sea Point. An incident happened which threatened the safety of me and my sister. So my mom's boss was like, you guys cannot stay. It's like a back room. Like, in garage, and then there was a back room at, at the garage. So my mom's boss was like, no, it's not safe for you and these two kids to be living in these conditions because, it's not safe. It's two girls. So they took us in, not in their house. They had a property in Sea Point, a flat that was vacant. It was like, okay, patience, you can stay here with your daughters. They're going to have to change school. So we went from, like, then we went to, like, Sea Point Primary School.
Nice.
We went to Camps Bay High School. It was just so different for us. And it was just like, oh, we had to repeat the grade because it's like, we were not... the standard
on the same level
of like where everybody was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hope I didn't at my old school, now I have to repeat the grade. Now I'm going to finish school when I'm 19. What's happening? But it was for the best, honestly, just like new opportunities. I was like, there's a library, and we didn't know anything. I'm like, there's a pool. We have a pool in the school. So it was, So then we moved from there to Sea Point, from Sea Point. Mr. Lewis passed away, then his sons took over. They moved us to one of the other apartments in town, CBD in Cape Town. It's not like the CBD in Joburg. Let me put it out there. Cape Town CBD is not like the CBD in Joburg. Clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still is even today, right?
Still is today. There was a bit of a squattering situation happening by Green Point, but I think they removed them.
Yeah.
It was, So then we moved to Downey, and then we were living, Ahmad Kathrada and Barbara Hogan were actually our neighbor. Like, life is so strange.
Sorry to cut you there. I think this is where living in alignment comes in. I think, but we'll get to living in alignment. Because as we never understood.
Sometimes you don't understand why things happen. Why did that incident happen for my mom to tell her boss, for us to be able to move to Sea Point. My mom's boss passed away. They move us to, like, in town. We meet with Barbara Hogan and Ahmad Kathrada. I'm like, I used to, like, do projects with Ahmad Kathrada. He's here. We go to his house. Just, just like chatting. Like, he loved kids. And me and my sister were like kids. We just, like, talk to him like, oh, dad alone, like, grandpa or whatever, So that, and then eventually, obviously, they parted ways with my mom and they bought my mom a flat.
Interesting.
That's basically our lives. It's the point.
So you're a white and a black skin.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
And then you went to do a degree in communications in English. Tell us about that.
So basically, when people are sheltered, I went to Rhodes University. Like, I did, like, first year at Rhodes University. I was like, this is not gonna work out. You know, like when you're so sheltered in Lini with your mom and everything, you're getting good marks. Like I went overseas when I was 16. Like I took every single opportunity that those white schools gave me.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, they're doing Dinosaur Detectives by a shooter in grade 5. I was like, oh, let me go audition. I didn't even know what that was. I was like, I'm going to audition to be on Dinosaur Detectives. You know, I got that. And then in high school, they were like, oh, there's this thing about, you know, kids going to America, whatever. It's, you know, it's like a campsite and kids breaking conflict, whatever. I'm like, where do I sign up? So I was like that person. I was like, oh, like what do I do? You know, you're given these opportunities, use them.
Yes,
so I was like that
sure.
person. So the first person in my family to go overseas when I was 16 years old, going to America, in New York, honey. You know,
the Big Apple.
You know, the Big Apple. But we were like in Holmes, New York, so we were like in a campsite situation with other kids. But so then when I finished high school, I was like, oh, let me go do like politics. Politics. I'm just like, what? Like, journalism. I'm gonna be a journalist. I'm gonna seek the truth. Yeah. Deborah Patton. Yeah. You know, that was like the no. Then I came back that year. They're like, oh, we're gonna have to put you on academic probation. You're gonna have to repeat some subjects for the following year. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this through UNISA. You know what? Let me figure out what is it that I really want to do with my life. Let me go and like I went to be an intern at Glamour magazine. I was like, oh, actually, I love publications. Actually, you know, and that's how I landed up getting a Media 24 because it's like, okay, cool.
Which year was this?
I started at Media 24 2011. 2011.
Because I was also at Media 24, but I was doing sales. I think I left 2012. I was doing sales for City Press and Rapport.
In Cape Town?
No, Joburg.
In Joburg. Oh, yeah. Because like,
do you know Michelle? What? She used to be my boss. Michelle who? What was her name?
With the brunette hair?
Yes.
So because I was in publishing, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, like you got like the editorial team, you get the publishing team, and obviously publishing is okay. How are we making our money?
Exactly.
This quarter, there's
events,
there's sales, there's those meetings with. I was there when was still there, abusing people. Do you remember the scandals and like all that stuff? That I was there. I was in his department. Luckily, I wasn't a man because you know. And I was wondering why these little boys are getting promoted. So we're not supposed to speak about that. I'm like, Jamie. But like how my journey though with Media 24 started is that I applied and there was 3 positions. On my interview, the lady, Uzalda Kottel, she's like, okay, so there's 3 positions. One is to be a receptionist. The other one you can be my PA, and the other one was something else. So I was so intimidated by the other ones. I was like, no, I'll just take the receptions. Like, why do you want to take the receptionist job? Like, I'm giving you an opportunity. I was like, no, because I was scared. I didn't know, you know, like if I could do it. And also like, I just came from Glamour. I'm trying to study. I'm trying to do all these things. I was working at retail as well. Like I was doing so many things. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it, you know?
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheets, you know, all these things. I don't know, you know? So then I ended up being a receptionist for 3 months, but I bothered them so much on the inside. I was like, I'm so bored. I'm sitting here answering phone calls. This is so like I want more with my life. So I used to bother them all the time. And they're like, okay, we've got the Drum 60th magazine thing coming up in Joburg at Empress Palace. We need some help with the event. Help the events team. So no problem. They got the receptionist. I did that. When we came back from that event, they're like, okay, we are promoting you. Not only to being permanent, but now we're going to be like, you know, project coordinator inside with us and publishing, learning about publishing and, you know, how a magazine's put together. You're going to go through the whole process. So I was a person who's like, okay, cool. When everything is done, it's like, okay, cool, making sure, do we have like client pamphlets? What is required to take the publication to the printers? So I was that person to make sure that the publication gets printed because I had sent the purchase order in order for that publication to be published and other things. So yeah, I learned so much from at Media 24.
That's great, man. It's again, you know, I think you starting the Living in Alignment project is exactly that, because from hearing, you know, your story up to now, it's just alignment and purpose, but we'll get to that. And then also you said you would, you know, public relations has always been your first love. And where did that bug bite you?
So whilst I was at Media 24.
C point English.
C point correction, can't say English. So while I was still at Media 24, I was like, I just want to learn more things. I was pregnant with my daughter. I had resigned from Media 24, imagine, after like 2.5 years of working in Media 24, because my friend was coming out of the Big Brother house and I wanted to manage my friend. I was like, Lex is coming out of the Big Brother house. Let's go to Joburg. I'm moving from Cape Town. Let me manage you. Let's do this. Let's go to, because I've always wanted to come to Joburg and I didn't know why the drive to come to Johannesburg. I remember even buying a suitcase and saying to my mom that, take a suitcase. I still got the green suitcase. I call the green suitcase.
Linda Joburg.
My mom was like, okay, so okay, Miss Joburg, I'm like, no. I'm gonna leave in March. March next year. I'm like, March, babe. Yeah, okay. Sharp. Making fun of me, but they didn't know that I kept on speaking this into existence. And then when I applied for Ogilvy PR, I left. My contract started on the 1st of March the following year. Like I told them. I took my green suitcase. They're like, yo, your mouth is so powerful. I'm like, guys, watch me become rich.
I love this.
So, but before that, I was like, literally, so I finished at Media 24. And I was pregnant with a child. Imagine you're pregnant, you've got no job. Baby daddy is nowhere to be found.
Are they not?
I had to come back home to go live with my mother. Bought the suitcase. I'm like, I'm going to leave soon. I don't know how, what. And then I because of the context that I had from Media 24. Ukosi was the Drum magazine. She was a Move magazine editor, and then she moved to Drum. So for the Drum 60th, I met her sister in Joburg, Ubuhle. Ubuhle was in PR. Ubuhle says to me, okay, I know you've just given birth and it's only been like 2 weeks, but we need somebody to be our eyes and ears in Cape Town for our client Ackermans. I was like, I've never done PR before, so I don't even know. It's like, it's not that difficult, really. You've worked in publishing. You've got all the contacts at Media 24 of media. It's traditional PR. You write press releases. You've written stuff before. You've written articles when you were interning at Glamour, and you write stuff here. You're writing, you're pitching these newsworthy, pieces to media. Media because you know people. You've already got the platform. And now just like seeing what other things you can elevate the brand. There's Style Squad coming up. Back then I commenced at Style Squad, giving these young kids an opportunity to do design or whatever. It's a Style Squad campaign and I commence, blah, 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 okay, cool. I remember like going to my first status meeting, like like my child is like, I think that time she was like a month or 2 months. I'm just like, I'm feeling so uncomfortable in this body. I'm a first time mom. I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm doing PR. What is this PR thing? I'm at Ackermans. Oh my God. She's like, and then she calls like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm fine. How was the client status meeting? It was fantastic. And the thing is about like prayer and like what you put out to the universe. Because I said to God, I said, if I ever fall pregnant, I want a year off with my child, but I would still want an income. I got a job. I was working from home. All I had to do was go to status meetings at Ackermans. I got a laptop. I got internet. I was like, oh,
this God listens and he answers.
So that's the thing. And I was like, yeah, so that's like my journey with PR. And then I remember went to Ogilvy, came to Johannesburg, started for Johannesburg. When I got to Joburg, I had no bed.
You had your green suitcase.
I had my green suitcase. I was staying at a fellow, somebody who was in a younger grade as me at Campsby High School. I think she was like 3 grades below me. And she said, no, you can stay with me. Linda Matsolo. It was her and her child. She had an extra room. You can rent it out. Don't worry about it. Nice. I had no bed. I was sleeping on the floor. I had my green suitcase and my duvet from my mama. And my pillow, and luckily there was a carpet, but even the carpet is dirty. So I had those things, those poolside things. What do you call those things?
Yeah, the ones that you inflate.
Not even that. Like the pool chair, you have the chair of the pool.
Those sponges.
Sponge thing, which is so thin. Yes. So I was basically sleeping on that every single night for a month until I got a bed. And I even remember at work, they were like, oh, you can. I told my manager, oh, my back is sore, I don't have a bed. And then she gave me like a sponge, that micro sponge to pump up. Yeah. But that was the thing. And it was such a journey for me. But back then I didn't understand. I was crying. I'm like, why am I here? All these things. And then obviously when I was at Ogilvy PR, I had Darling Hair as a client. Black woman hair, braids, great. I'm a black woman. I understand hair, amazing, and Milo, and then LG Mobile. You know, it was great writing press releases, and I've had the experience from Ackermans and you know, client service and dealing with client. So it was amazing, but I was not happy in Johannesburg. 2016, I was like one of the years that I struggled, leaving my 13-month child at home. I'm missing my child. I'm in a city that I do not understand. I felt like Sin City. Like, what am I doing here? Like, you know, it was just like a rough. I came home, and it was so funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, you kind of like Libuyile." If that Joburg, I came to Joburg. You know, people like to you know, when like, you know, things are not working out. Came back, resigned, came back. And I was like, okay, cool. What am I going to do? I was like, then I went into promotions, dealing with like promoters for like Tastic, you know. Yeah. But I didn't know that during that whole time I was being groomed. You don't understand things,
it,
why
especially
it's happening.
when you're inside a situation. You only see it once it's
later.
Past, like,
Now, okay, cool. Now I'm managing these like promoters. Are you there? One needs to be at this bus stop. One needs, you know, like promoters. When you managing our promoters, I even did a stint. I wouldn't call it a call, but it was a call center. Nyana, when I was working as a business development manager, where I was getting ads for publication. I still call it call center, even though like they business development manager. A call center. You have to phone people. You have to sell space.
Yes.
You know, it is what it is.
It is.
Even though I was earning way more than, you know, a call center. You know, I wasn't earning 10, I was earning more, you know. Still the same thing. And then from there, my cousin got commissioned by Mzansi Magic to do a television show called Nkululeko.
Yes, I remember Nkululeko. I loved it so much.
And then I was like, she's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just doing promotion stuff. She's like, okay, I'm Sebens. Okay, that's fine. I'm like, but I am working. She's like, okay, come. Yeah. I'm like, okay, do I have to interview? She's like, nah, just something like that. But you got the job, but just come for the formalities.
Yes.
And then I had an interview with Shelly from the Bomb Shelter Film Company, Shelly Miller, and I was like, okay, cool. She's like, okay, it's television, it's different for me. It was like a PA running around, driving, picking things up, making people coffee.
You're a runner.
I was a runner, basically. I'm like, they even gave me a role where I was like, they always give me these nurse roles. I think I was a receptionist, and I was just like talking.
Living in alignment.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Talking, and it's like, why do I keep on like, hey, how are you? Come, let's go put on makeup. You've got 2-3 lines to say, go. And it's like, what is happening? But okay. So I did that for 4 months, I think. We wrapped in January 2028. Then Shelly Miller is like, so what are you doing? 2018.
You're already in 2028. Go. Ha! I'm right by your side.
Then Shelly's like, oh, do you want to come to Joburg with us? We have Itembi, so season 2. I'm like, Itembi season 2. I'm like, yo, I have to go. Now I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, oh, I have to go back to Joburg again. Like, why is God keep on taking me to this place? I don't understand. I left it. Now I'm being, okay, fine. Took the job, left my child again with my mother and my sister in Cape Town. I'm like, okay, fine, let's see what Joburg has to offer. Then I was like, okay, cool, I can get into this film. And I remember I was a little bit brokey because it's like, now you're back in this, like, but I had a bed. We thank God. Yeah. Coming back to Joburg the second time, I had a bed. And then I remember, like, I think it was March or something to that extent. I was like, ish, I need money. Things that, you know, my mom needs money, I need money, and how am I going to do this? And I sent the CEO of Darling Hair. I was like, but I worked at Ogilvy, and, you know, I have
you've got the
connection, you know, the contacts of, like, the marketing managers of Darling Hair, but I didn't have the CEO's email. So I was like, Linda, so I drew a vision board on my wall. So I do these vision boards where I put them on my, like Mnyangweni, a room. Yeah. So that every morning I can see it. Even I'm sitting on my bed, I can see it. What I'm, you know. So in the vision board, I was like, okay, well, I need 100,000 rand to complete this event. This is the kind of event that I want, amongst other things, right? Fine. I sent Aaron an email at Godrej. So it's Godrej. Godrej holds Darling Hair. They hold Frika. They hold like many other products, right? So I emailed Aaron, Aaron, my name is Linda Matsolo. I worked at Ogilvy. I was handling the darling hair account. I'm a black woman. I know, black hair more than anyone. I'm working in production. I work with young actresses and actors. And I think there's a synergy maybe we could do with the brand and also these young actresses. And we can how about we do the Darling Hair Exceptional Woman Awards where we are rewarding women in that's been in the entertainment industry. Could even have whatever. Aaron comes back to me. Imagine the CEO coming back to me. I think it was a day after or 2 days after. I'm like, hey, bro, the CEO responded to me. Because I just felt I had that much faith. And also, I didn't know. I was like, I've got nothing to lose. And people need to understand, closed mouths don't get fed. Number one. If you don't ask, how are you supposed to get? Vicky asked me to be in this podcast. I wouldn't have come here if she didn't ask. It's all about, you ask. And if the answer is no, it's okay. Yes. It wasn't meant to be. It's fine. We move on.
Exactly.
It's going to be sore a little bit, but you're going to move on. Eventually,
gracefully so.
Yeah. So Aaron is like, oh, hi guys. He sends an email back to the marketing people. Say, hey guys, this is Linda. Linda handled our account at Ogilvy. She knows our brand. Oh, hi Aaron. We know Linda. We work with Linda. Yes. So it's nice coming from up down. Now it's like, okay guys, let's work. So I did that event for Godrej. I got the 100,000 rand that I put on the vision board, and that time 100,000 rand was a lot. Now it's not.
Yeah.
Can't do an event on 100,000 rand. I had a little bit of a change. I remember buying my mom a TV, and I remember buying a little few things for myself. I think I had spent 80,000 rand on this event, and then I had 20,000 rand change. I was like, oh, cool. I can do this. And then the following year, while I'm still in television, they gave me a retainer to do retainer work for their brand. I'm like, oh, I could really do this, from experience. And what people don't understand, I was like, okay, I was getting the knowledge I had from call center. You have to call media.
Exactly.
Hi, guys. This is what I have. What do you think? It's all about the things that you have learned. You don't even understand why you learned those things, and now you have to apply them. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my journey getting into PR.
Lovely, and PR then ties in very well with then the talent management side of it.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing PR and you're at events, all these different talents rock up as invited. So how do you choose your talent that you work with?
So it's mainly, how I make my income, just to start off, is from retainers. You do need the traditional PR retainer because that's the only way for you to be able to sustain yourself. And then there's influencer work, which is you're not managing these people day to day. That brings in a lot of money because there's always campaigns.
Yeah.
You're always pitching with other agencies to other brands. So it's for me, that's where the bulk of my income comes from. It's from influencers to be able to sustain myself because it's here's the budget. This is what we're doing. Whatever. Yeah. And then the managing of the artist is a little bit different. When you start off, sometimes just to gain the client's trust, it's commission based, right? Yeah. It's okay, cool. Should you get this from me? We're working anything between a 10% to 20% commission. Yeah. So that doesn't really come often. But sometimes maybe you're working with somebody and maybe in the space of a year, we get maybe 7 things. But also you can't live off those things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they come, and also you learning the person, what do you like, and it's a process. People think, oh, you're going to get something now. It doesn't work that way. The brand needs to see that you are worth investing in. And sometimes it's business development, what I was learning
at the call center.
We have to call people. We have to email people. Guys,
and you have to sell the
talent. Yes. So you don't know why you learn things. It's because I remember having to stand. But why are we standing for an hour? What slavery is this? I never understood call centers that do that. Why are we standing? But now that I get it a little bit, they were just trying to. It's just a little bit of discipline. Yeah. And they say, okay, cool. If you send 10 emails a day, that's 50 emails in a week. That's 200 emails in a month. Yeah. You will have leads. Let's say maybe you have 2 leads or 3 leads a week. That's already 10 leads. 10 leads, you're gonna have maybe 2 customers or 1, and that's how it works.
True.
So yeah, I learned so much from that to use in my business and overall other things as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your baby living in alignment.
I know. I remember I was sitting with a friend of mine, somebody that I really admire. Sis Lulu. I'm gonna say Sis Lulu. Lulu Hella.
Yeah.
That's my friend. She's a little bit older than me, but that's my friend.
Yeah.
And she's I look up to her so much. And Kosa, they came to Johannesburg and has done so much for herself. And Lulu is a heart person. We like the same. Like we love people, we feel for people, and she's just a good person and someone that Lulu. Yeah. So I remember having a conversation at Gomorrah. She was the series producer at Gomorrah, and I was just talking to her. I was like, "Oh, like I really want to do this event, and it just needs to make sense. I want to gather women together, etc, 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 etc. Fine. Say things with my word, and I leave them.
Yeah,
I leave them. I say it. I leave them. Fine. Then a friend of mine who had Glade as a client. Funny enough, Blue Motion Group, Alex. You buddy, Alex and I used to work at the Darling Hair as well, doing different things and like events. I was also doing events, so we're like, he approached me and said, "Hey, let's work together. I'm a small company, you're a small company. Let's build together." Long time ago. Anyway,
I'm a small company. Let's work together.
Let's work together. That was Alex. A few years later, Alex now has got these other brands, Darks, AC Johnson, and Glade, and other things. Alex is like, "Hey, tell my influencers." I'm like, sometimes we want to work here. You should work here. Your friends will give you. Alex and Dom from the Blue Motion Group have given me jobs. Like
Siyabonga
Alex, Siyabonga Dom, Siyabonga Blue Motion Group,
Siyabonga Ogilvy,
Siyabonga Darling Hair, McCain, McDonald's, all our aunts, everybody. So and then he's like, "Oh, we need something for Dark, I'm like, "Okay, cool. Glade, okay, we need influencers. There's an event coming up. Please give us influencers. Oh, lens, media, that's how you work, right?" So anyway, so Alex is like, "Oh, my brand, the brand that we manage, handling, they've got like, they're giving women opportunities to like, pitch their events. Maybe you can pitch your event and we see what we can do." So anyway, fast forward. Glade gave me money to do an event. The one that I was talking to Ululu about.
Yes.
Like 2 years back or something, or a year and a half before that. Anyway, I'm like, great. Here's what I was thinking. I'm going to call it Women Living in Alignment. Because I feel like it's important to be aligned with your purpose and your journey and like what God has in store for your life. And you need to be of service to people. That's what I completely believe in.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Alex like, "Okay, cool. And I think also because I hadn't done events in a while, I was like, "Oh no, I'm a little bit shaky. Like, I don't know, I'm nervous as a new client. Like, yeah." And then I used my contacts. I got True Love to come in as a media sponsor. Gave tickets away to True Love magazine. I asked my friends in the industry, like, "Guys, please help me. Lira MC. Lira is an actress. She's in Gomorrah. I'm like, Lira, please MC. I don't have like a lot of money. I have this. Please MC. Lulu, please, can you come in as a panelist?" You ask people that you know. Because you're trying to build something, right? And then we had like some brand managers from like Glade come in as well, to be like on the panel. It was a success. I got a free event. Well, actually, I shouldn't say those things. Anyway, I got a sponsorship.
I like you.
I got a sponsorship. I got a trade exchange.
Yes.
Okay. At Wanderers Stadium. Thank you, Lebu. Got you, girl.
Yeah.
To come in and do it at the Wanderers Stadium. If anyone is looking at doing an event at Wanderers Stadium, please give me a call. It will come at a discounted price. But Wanderers Stadium is so beautiful. I've got these little. Anyway, so Label helped with the venue and had a successful event. We had an art thingy as well on like True Love magazine. So okay, cool, I can do this. But then now it's so different, right? I'm just at a different stage in my life, and I'm not saying like I'm not for like panelists. We have been paneling. We are paneled out. Women, we are paneled out with your paneling of this panel event and that panel event. We are tired.
Panel discussion.
I am paneled out. So I'm my panels. But I love them though, because you need the platform. You need to speak, and we need to give women a platform, and we've got things to say, important things to say. So I'm not like against it, but I'm just paneled out.
Let's re-innovate paneling.
How do we? And I'm in a space in my life where like I took like a leap of faith. I'm not in production anymore. I'm not on Istembi, so I'm not on Gomorrah. I'm not shooting in PD. I'm not shooting, whatever. I'm doing my business. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm building my business. I've got a PR company. I do influencers. And I was like, let me expand this living in alignment. Last time I did an event with Glade was 2023. This year I was like, I want to do an event, but it must be something so different. So I like invested in myself. I called one of my clients Pura. They do like hydration corporation, said, hey, could you guys please sponsor drinks for this yoga event that I want to have? I want to try something, you know, completely different. I don't know where it's going, but I'm praying about it because I really want to be like into like wellness and seeing how I can like, I don't know, you know.
Yeah. But it will happen.
It will happen
because
I've spoken about it. And then the yoga event happened. I'm like, okay, amazing. And now we've continued now these yoga classes. It's become a business thing now because like we're charging people to come for yoga.
Yeah.
But additionally, what I want to do more than anything, I want to get into corporates. I want to do wellness days where like we provide the HIV services for like, you know, employees and like the giving of the blood and glucose tests, all these things. Maybe have like a celebrity coming in to do like a class or yoga thing. So like just expanding the business beyond just like paneling and you know, like what can we do to that's bigger than that. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm lactose intolerant. I would love actually like a cookbook.
Yes.
Even if it's like a digital one that I do on like living with lactose intolerant, like the foods that you can eat, even though I eat everything, which I shouldn't. You know,
told me about that.
Yeah, like, but I heard, guys, the stories that I could tell you from eating ice cream. Can't say it on this podcast, but so it's like taking a leap of faith, and I'm literally taking a bite as I go. I'm like, okay, bite, chew, bite, chew. I can't tell you what's gonna happen in 6 months or 5 months, but I'm just like on a journey, and I feel at peace. I don't feel as stressed as I used to be, even though I was working 2 jobs, I had 2 incomes, and I can't even tell you what happened to that money. But now there's things that I planned that I'm doing for my family, and you know, I'm finishing my dad's house in the Eastern Cape. I don't know if I was telling Vicky or the makeup artist. The things that I'm doing that mean more to me than anything.
That are purposeful.
Purposefully driven, and you know, when you grow up with Abelungu, there's certain things that you don't understand, right, about your culture and who you are. And yes, my parents didn't have a great marriage. We grew up. At some stage in my life, I was in Samakaya, I think for like 2 years with mom, and then like obviously we came back to Cape Town, that kind of situation. And I've been to like funerals, whatever, things, but like and I hadn't gone home in 13 years. And like this December was the first time that I'd gone home. And then my dad's passed away. Like there's no one really left, the older people, except for like my one uncle and like my dad's cousins who are older, but in terms of like the linear family, like from like my dad's like 5 brothers, there's only one left.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? And he's got dementia as well. But like when he remembered me, it's like, oh my God, then like I'm Cheshem, you know. You remember, it's like, oh Linda, you know. So like family is my priority. Even down to Kotuka. Because that's important to me. Cape Town is not my home. Cape Town is where I grew up. Yes, I was born in Cape Town. That's not my home.
Yes.
I'm from a lady Frey, you know, Mamkwati, like, so that means I can't explain it. I can't.
I'm with you. I know exactly what you mean.
So
I'm on that route. Like, funny you should speak about that. I mean, I was sitting with Vicky there. There's a guy, because I'm also resuscitating my grandparents' home. So my grandmother and grandfather, who are my dad's parents. So I'm resuscitating that home. And this guy just sent me a voice note to say, okay, here's a quote for the blocks and don't, because I need to go there, like literally and rebuild. I was saying to someone, you know, and sisters zivugile. You can ignore it if you want to, but zivugile, and they want what is theirs. And it's unfortunate for us who have a purpose, because we need to do that, and they don't care of the gender. You know what I mean?
And I'll be zero, and not in a funny way. I'm not gonna I'm not like a spiritual girl. I can't say, oh, like I'm not like sang or whatever. That's the. But
as long as you have the Holy Spirit, that calling, exactly.
I was like,
given
why
a responsibility.
Am I being driven to go home so much the same? But why is it so important that I can't even sit still? I have to leave, and it's a sense of emergency, and I understand. But okay, cool, let's drive with my daughter to the Eastern Cape. And it was there. It was beautiful. Spend time with my family. Went to the graveyard, just, you know, speak to my dad, my grandmother, you know, because we all have the same burial ground. Like, Ekaya.
Like the
you know,
yes.
So, and I was like, okay, the elder speaking to him, like, Tatako has been calling you for Lendlu. Yes. It's standing. It's got with a roof.
Yes.
Finish your home.
Uh-huh.
I was like, and it's been sitting on my shoulders for a very long time, and I knew that I had to finish it, because like, yes, I have a sister, and then I have like another older sister. My dad had another child, like the first, and then he married my mom, so I've got like, I had 2 step siblings, something, and one passed away. So so that's like my journey. I'm just I never want to be in a space where I feel like I'm betraying myself in any way, whether it be work, whether it be like romantic relationships. I always feel like I want to be authentic to myself. Because that thing sits with you when you're like betraying yourself. And I've betrayed myself in so many ways, people pleasing, even in relationships. So I said to the relationships, I don't know, like, I've been like, I've never had really,
manifest. Yeah. So I think everything that you need to do in your life, the green suitcase, everything.
The green suitcase. That's what
green
I'm saying.
Suitcase, everything.
Yeah.
Green suitcase,
because that
everything.
Green suitcase stood there for a year, but I still came to Joburg and I still have the green suitcase.
So green suitcase, everything, and then now bye.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
because
like,
also green is for go. Green is for money. Green is for
That's why it's my favorite color.
So green suitcase, everything.
Yeah. So I'm praying about that from sometimes you feel like not that you're failing, but it's like, okay, cool, I'm good at this, okay, I can make this work, whatever. And then there's one part in your life like, why is this part not working out? But it's like just like the mentality and like some traumas, but we can only blame trauma to a certain extent. In my childhood, and like, my father left my mother, like
where do you enter? Because but that's their business.
Exactly. So
and I think like, that's what makes a lot of people stagnant, is that you want to take your parents' issues and own them when you've got your own path.
Absolutely. That's such a beautiful way to say it. So I'm just I'm praying for let me put out there, I'm praying for a spouse. He needs to love God. Okay? He can have kids, not have kids. I'm okay with that. Be a provider, make me feel safe and loved. Yeah. And spoiled.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're still on Precious Moments. My name is Busisiwe Nomaswazigunene. I'm with Linda Matsolo, the PR connoisseur, the lady with the green suitcase. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Tell us about your daughter.
Oh, so my daughter is 10, going on 16.
Yeah, and
she's a girl. Very tomboyish right now, and I had like a problem with that. I was like, you know what, I need to let my child be a child. I was like, I remember when I was a tomboy and nobody said anything to me. I was like, no, I will not wear that. No, I don't wear that. Now I played hockey, I played, so now that I'm seeing that, like sometimes I think we just like scared of like where the world is going, and like not to say I have a problem with people transitioning, and like people can do whatever they want for them, right? But sometimes we still like hold our standards of like being Christian and who we are and how we were raised, and like not letting turning the rod what you must pull it back, whatever, like a lot of that. So you get so scared. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to my child? Like, please, let's go do our nails. And she's like, no, I don't want to do my nails. Oh, I want to cut my hair. You want to cut your hair? Okay. So I let her cut her hair. I'm like, okay, she's just being herself, and I need to just be supportive in this tomboy phase that she's in, but she's a healthy child. That's the most important thing, and she's happy.
Absolutely.
The school, and that's that. Like being a mother, like saved my life. I being a mom saved my life. I'm telling you, I was just like spiraling out of control, even like with the resigning and like like so many things are happening in the time, love and like so many things were just happening, and then that child like calmed me down, brought me stability and gave me purpose. Like, okay, what is it going that I want? Because I was lost. I was so lost. I was living in the world. I was lost. My early 20s. I should write a book. My mother could not control me. I was like, I'm Linda. Anyway. My mother couldn't control me. I was like living. I was like, oh, dude, it's my life, whatever, whatever I want. But she brought me like stability, and she like saved me from a lot from myself. Yeah. And we've grown together, and we still continue to grow together. She'll tell me, she's like, I don't like it when you swear. Please don't swear. It doesn't make me feel nice.
Yeah. Like
even if I'm not saying directly, even if I'm saying the F bomb, like, F this. It's like, yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like
why,
she's mothering you
she's
now.
a mothering.
Yeah.
And the funny part, God always gives you the child that you need. My child is since I work, working in the film industry and working like late days and nights, my child would send me a list like, okay, cool, I need this, this, and this, and this. There's no milk in the house. We're missing this. We're missing that. Please buy it. Even like now that like being with her full time and everything, not us having a nanny, no sister helping out, none of that, just me being like hands on. Beginning of the year, she gave me a structure. She told me, okay, cool, I wake up at 5:30. I'm like, showcase. When I wake up at 5:30, I'm gonna come wake you up because you probably won't be able to wake up. I'm like, but I work on television. It's like, you're not great with that. So you're always late. So let me help you. I'll wake up at 5:30, but set your alarm anyway because your body will get used to it.
Yeah.
I'm done. She says, I will wake you up. I'm gonna go take a shower. While I'm busy taking a shower, what are you doing? You busy warming up my food in the microwave.
That's again.
I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, after I warm it, then you must come to my room and put the food in my room because it's hot with a plate so that it's still warm when I get out of the shower.
Yes, good.
With the spoon on top. Okay, showcase.
Yeah.
Put it on the table.
Yeah.
While you done that, go back.
Yeah.
Iron my clothes because I know you don't like ironing at night.
Yes.
Busy. I'm like, okay, cool. I iron in the morning. Bring my knock on the room. Can I come in to give you your clothes?
I guess.
Showcase.
On a schedule.
Give her the clothes. 6:30, we leave. You can leave with your gown on. But we leave. I have to be at school at 7, even though I'm 7:30. Just like I have time to be with my friends, whatever. That's how she does. Every day. But I wake up now. I do. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I wake. We wake up at the same time. Like, I'm awake. I saw you coming in the room.
Linda, what advice would you give to especially women out there, who are too scared to take the leap of faith? Because from everything that you've gone through in your life, it's always been, you've always lived in alignment with your purpose. You may have only realized it at a later stage, but you've always lived in alignment with your purpose. Everything that happened, for me, that's how I see it happening, and that's how I see it has happened. So there are people out there who's like, we are to this corporate company, and you get demotivated. There's people who get demotivated waking up to go to work, because there's that little voice that says, open this up, do this, do that. So what message?
I think for me, more than anything, it's your intuition. You need to follow your intuition because you always know.
Yes.
I knew that I didn't want to do politics in Boston. I knew that I didn't want to do journalism. It was not for me. I've always known that I was going to end up in Johannesburg. And funny enough, even though I do not like acting, I always knew that I was going to be doing something towards TV. I didn't know what, but I've always felt it. So it's like that intuition. It's like I always feel like God gives you these gifts or these things, but you need to be at the right place to receive them. Yeah. It's like you ask, oh, God, can I please have this? God's like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether you believe God, the universe, or whatever, God's like, sure. It's gone. And then, but you just not at the right address to receive them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's intuition, number one. Number two, you just need to just honestly, what I said, close mouths, don't get fed. You need to ask.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a yes or no. And if it's a no, it's okay. You asked. And it's like continuing to action. Like I hear people like, oh, like I want to do this. Like how are you actioning it? Like what's the plan? Who are you emailing? Even if it's a simple thing and just like what I do, I vision board on my door. People think I'm crazy. People come, I'm like, you can't come into my room sometimes. You're scared to see what people are going to see in your room. You're like, yeah, let vision board, because you write like things that are from the heart and to your heart and to God.
Yeah.
When you see it visually, I even have on I think my phone's off, but my vision board. I have my vision board on my phone as well, so I can see it. And like, okay, cool. Self-care.
Yes.
Finish my dad's house.
Jonga, because so Precious Moments Studios is located in the heart of the township, and so there may be some people that do not understand or do not know what a vision board is. Sandila, we're able to do a close-up so that people understand which is the only vision board. Galinda, please, can we?
So I'm gonna hide some things, but this is my vision board. I don't know if you can do close. Don't judge my nails. Don't judge my nails. Don't judge my nails. I'm still going to do my nails. This is a vision board. I don't know if you can do a clip. Can you see it? Okay, that's enough. So a vision board is basically like, I do a vision board every single year, like December, just before like New Year's Eve. So I can have like things that I want to do. Like, for instance, for this one, I put in, I want to get baptized. I want to give my life to God. Self-care. I want to finish my dad's home. I want a Louis Vuitton bags in there. I want a healthy lifestyle. Like I put like, I've got money here. I've got things. I said, enjoy the little moments as well. But like you visualize it. So now I put like actual things. I put in like my dad's house, the picture of my dad's house. I put in me, self-care. I put in a picture of someone getting baptized because I want to get baptized. Because I was baptized when I was young and I got baptized again when I was 13. And I gave my life to God when I was 13. And now like it's like,
there's more understanding.
There's better what I'm doing. Yeah. There's money, physical money, because I want to see it. Money loves me. I love money. Money comes to me easily. The motivational things that we say to ourselves every single morning. So it's like you need to visualize it, right? But like having this is just not enough. Anyone can have this. Okay. So how am I going to achieve that? Okay, cool. Now with the jobs and projects that have been coming in, I've been able to save enough to start building my dad's house. Self-care. But living in alignment brand, I do a lot of cooking that I'm posting on my social media, my Instagram, on like what I want to eat. I'm eating more like healthier stuff. I'm trying to go to the gym. I don't like it. Prefer going to the gym spot because you can put those exercise things and you don't have to do all the work. But I'm trying. There's things that I'm doing. I'm talking nicely to myself. I'm journaling a little bit more. So it's like how are you actioning those things in order to to make them come into life, and also like prayer, because you need to be in cahoots with your maker, because your maker knows your purpose. So like sometimes you can have this vision board and you're going on this path and it's like you're not even like communicating with God, you're just going. There's going to be burnout, there's the things you don't even understand, like you're going on the wrong path. Like that's not even like your path, like where you going. So you really need to be like, that's why I say baptize and really giving your life to God, because you want to like, okay, what's my purpose, God? What do you want for my life? How can I be more of service, to you? Like, what's the plan? Like, that's where I'm at in my life.
And how do you wind down from all the hustle and bustle and all the PR work that you do and the talent management and the client events and how does Linda like ngoku ndikhulula izihlangu, child, do you interrupt? It's me time.
I'm going to Netflix. I'm on reality TV shows. All my favorites. Stay on the reality TV shows on Netflix. My favorite thing to do, guys, I will have like a bottle of like a glass of champagne. Yeah. Have my snacks, my TV on. I love reality TV show. Like anything that I can watch on Netflix. Like I watch like the $1 million Secret or something like that. That's on Netflix playing, and now I'm saying it wrong, but there's $1 million show that I just finished. I binge watched that thing the whole weekend. Like, really? Like, so I like watching shows and just chilling. I also like making my food content now. Like, okay, cool. I feel like making this salmon, whatever. Let me just like, it's quiet in the house. My daughter's just busy with the little PlayStation. Don't again. Yeah. And I can just like put the camera there. And then I just make a reel, and it makes me happy, and then that's it.
Amazing. So where to from here for Linda?
Where to from here? As I said, like just like so this is called we're mimicking each other. We are
Yeah.
the body, and you see how it is sometimes, like you don't know, and sometimes I catch myself like, oh, like we were like, we anyway. So where to from here? I just want to take, as I said, step by step, just taking a bite out of like everything. I just want a successful business. It's able to sustain itself, because sometimes when you're starting a new business, it's like cash flow problems, and there's things that people don't speak about. It's like, yes, like the client will pay in 60 days, but like you contractually contracted people to 30 days. Now you have to pay influencers and all that stuff. And as I really wish there was more education on like first-time business owners, and like maybe like also people telling you who to speak to, your bank, how things that you can do. Nobody tells you about those things. So I really want to learn more about business management. I want to get to a stage when I've got like a lot of people. I mean, I have people that I do work with, like a person who help laundry also with my admin, and like contracts we do together, and like other projects that we do together. So she's great, but I want to get to a point where like I don't even have to do anything anymore. That it just runs itself. I'm just like, oh, if you need me to go to client face to face, I'll go. But I just don't want to, like, because I've got other things that I need to like do that God wants me to do with my life. Then it's just like, okay, that's another form of income or whatever. Can I tell you guys, I'm a laundromat. Am I crazy?
No. Green Suitcase, babe. You're not crazy.
Like, in actual fact, as two. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, cool. What's the startup that you need for a laundromat? Is it 500,000 rand? Maybe start with one. Where's the location? What do I need? And from that, I was like, okay, cool. How do I make more? Because like you can't just like do laundry. Okay, there's a vending machine, another form of stream of income. Okay, we are going to be delivering and collecting for you, another stream of income. Okay, so can we approach maybe hotels, like small boutiques where we can wash your laundry for you? Okay, another form of stream of income from like the one, like, one business. So I'm like, okay, cool. What other things that I can do that I actually like? So yeah, I'm just like thinking about proposals. I do also want to do documentary because I do believe in African storytelling, but it needs to be impactful. It needs to be documentaries that are going to change people. It needs to mean something. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Okay. I'm not interested in fiction. I'm not interested in made up. Not that stories are made up. Stories come from somewhere. Yes. But I want real life, real people, real experiences from your word and from your mouth, and like.
Okay, I think we must talk about my documentary because my documentary is an African story from the rural dusty streets of KZN. Yes. Mnambiti. Yeah. There's a lot about that, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, and then also me getting on your books.
Oh, money comes to me easily. It just came to me.
I just love this. So, as precious moments, we have a little something for you. Sing that kuzobanda very soon.
Yay! I'm so happy. Is for you. Oh,
Precious, I
love this so much.
Oh, thank you.
I really
just
appreciate
a little
something
to say thank you for your time from your busy schedule.
I really appreciate this. No, guys, I love hoodies. So, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Ecstatic. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Linda Matsolo, the lady with the green suitcase, the lady with the laundromat, the lady who is a PR connoisseur, Andy Balantonina. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. From me, Busisiwe Nomaswazi Gunene. Until next time. Oh, thank
Oprah
you.
Hug.
Oh, I enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Let's work. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we've got